So with the car, you raise the suspension up and then put it in jacking mode so it doesn't try to do anything goofy. And then I had to go buy a 19mm hex because I didn't have one that big. So here's hoping it comes out easy. These are pretty ridiculous torque. They're 100 and 200 newtons and then 180 degrees. So oh my gosh, I'm gonna get safety glasses. This is gonna blow up. Something just slid. Probably slid the car. I'm gonna try the impact. I don't like using impact on hexes all that much, especially when the socket's not rated for it to harden, but we'll see. Nothing. Okay. There's another secret that I know that I can try. I'm gonna think about this a minute. This will keep it from flopping around. And I drive the car forward, this hits the ground and turns that left. It'll either break my wrench, break the bit, or it'll break the bolt free. And when it breaks the bolt free, this zip tie is really easy for it to break. So let's start it up and move forward and see what happens. Looks like it broke the bit. Peeled it right out. Oh, look at that though. The bolt's loose. So yeah, the bit came apart, which the guy said lifetime warranty. Say, hey, yeah, like this came out, I need a new one. All it is a little press fit. Right, it's tight and they click it in there. But I don't want it coming out when I use it on other stuff, because we'll need this to put it back in, but it should be fine. Cool, worked. Get the car back in here. Oh wow, look at the driveway. Nice gouge there. Fill that with peanut butter or something. Oh, I remembered, you won't need it to put it back on, because it's a 17 to put it back on. So, I just want to see that it's the same thread. That would suck. Yeah. Good, 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 good. Now, another thing I like to do is use this to push the axle out right off the bat. So, get a lot of thread engagement because we just need to break it free, then it should be easy. Leave like a little gap. I'm gonna whack this with my little hand sledge. Oh yeah, easy. And that bitch is in the manual about not letting the axle hang because it'll damage the inner boot. So I just put a block of wood under it. I guess I could run some wire right now. Right, so check this out. This is the brake pad sensor that's snapped off. So that's why my brake light's on. I'm still going to do the rear brakes because they need it. I knew that when I bought it, but it's interesting. I'm going to need a sensor for the front or the light won't go out anyway. Alright, on these, check the service manual, and you have to remove the caliper and carrier together. So these bolts in the back, they're 21mm. They're torqued to 196 newtons. It says to replace them, but if it doesn't have angles, it's not torque to yield. So it's at your own discretion, in my opinion. Hopefully that freed up enough space to get the impact back here, because I really don't want to have to take these off by hand. Rotor's held on with a Torx bit. I can get this through the slide off there. Is that part of the hub or is that a washer? I think that's a washer. Oh well, it stays stuck to the rotor. That'll be fine. Look at that. Yay, Arizona. If this is a Michigan car, that would have just like exploded. Okay, now there's 4 bolts. The kit came with new ones here. And then this part, yeah, look at that. Look at all that play. This thing was roached. I can always risk doing the impact on them, but it just seems like a dumb idea. Maybe I'll get that out with swivels once they're free. Come on, dum-dum. There we go. I wish there was more engagement. I think I'm gonna have to get my face in there and make sure there's not like dirt and stuff packed up inside it. Okay, there. It went. There was a little dirt in that one, so I was able to get a little better tooth engagement. I'll see if I can get the other 3, and if I do, I'll go back. I'm not framed great, but last one. This is, I already broke it free with the breaker bar, which is pretty easy. And it's like, look how easy it is. If this was a Michigan car, come on, buddy. Sometimes I have trouble keeping it in the hole. You know, this is a Michigan car, this would be a nightmare, but buy stuff from Arizona, it's just fine. Oh, that's funny, it's all the whole thing's coming right out. It's amazing, frozen in there. Okay, come back. And here, let's check this out. It's already coming out of the front. That's another Michigan car thing. This would be seized in that hub. One of my Silverado, granted a much older vehicle, and spent its whole life in Michigan. I had to take the steering knuckle off and literally pound it out with a hammer. So that's awesome. Yeah. So here's a clickety-clackety worn out bearing. There's my CV joint just hanging out. and we'll be able to put the new one in place, and then it'll be a matter of lining up the hub with these splines, and the bolt itself is what presses them together. So new one's in place. It's symmetrical, so it just goes up and down. Make sure we get our CV joint inside the bearing jar. And then these guys will come in from the back. They just have a big ass cone that centers it, kind of like wheel lugs to be. Okay, so the left pair, like the rearward pair, are torqued. These are torqued, but they still need their 90 degrees. So this bit is quite frightening for doing 90 degrees. It tends to move. This one doesn't because it's got the ball joint in the way, I hope. But really, I can hear. There's like a 45. About 90. Good enough to govern work. That size. Alright, so like this one, we want to be like right here if we get a full 90 out of it. So just do it in one. Oh, this gives me flashbacks. I was doing a wheel bearing on my GTI when my parents lived in Georgia, and it slipped, whoosh, and I sliced my arm on the fender because I had the edge cut for some, big wheels in it. Okay, there, so I can kind of hold it from the back, because the back of that CV joint is going to sit on that race on the other side of the bearing. That's what keeps it from blowing it apart when you put the screw on. Okay, so it's starting to go on the splines, and I can move the CV joint in this together. So I'm happy with that. Now if the new bolt reaches, I'll just barely, I think. Yep, and that should draw it together pretty easy at first. Should. Nope, not by hand, at least with my ratchet. You don't want to put an impact on this because you can really blow it to pieces. And the bearing will seem kind of loose until this is all torqued together. There we go. So the threads are starting. I'm going to show you from the side. It's just going to draw it in. And once that lip gets to each other, because right now it's loose in the bearing because it's a different diameter, and then when it gets to the right about there, it's going to start pressing it in. There's where it gets difficult. So we'll be able to do most of this on the car, but we'll end up doing the 180 degrees with the tire on and it on the ground. It's seated. Alright, wheels on and torqued are on the ground. And a block in front just for extra funsies. First 200 newtons. I should have brought that big torque wrench from work because because it does angle. I have to keep track. Oh, wow, I was really close. Okay. Essentially, point it towards this hole. It should be in the middle of that. That yellow's not very yellow anymore, is it? This seems easy at the start. Oh boy, that's only halfway. Oh my god. Okay. Oh, I feel like I'm gonna snap this thing. Okay, I remembered that it fits perfectly in my jack handle. So this will help us get the leverage, but it doesn't mean that the breaker bar is going to handle it. So I'm going to face away, so if anything snaps, it doesn't get butt cheeks. Oh shit, a tiny bit more. Just a tiny bit more. Yeah, that looks good. Nice.